Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Overbrook High School, where tonight from Pine Hill, New Jersey, we present Sterling versus Overbrook here on Sterling High School TV 19. It's Sterling coming in with a record of 2-5, Overbrook coming in with a record of 1-6. As you can see here, Tad Kazanes Hallwood with you on a beautiful night. And Kevin, this is the first game in a few weeks that Sterling's favored to win.
Game last week against the Will. Just having an outstanding. You do that going in, and a week before you played a team that you're even up in, and it was an outstanding game. Just came up on the short end of that one, but definitely looking to rebound tonight.
And John, this is a chance again, as Kevin said, is Sterling to get on the winning ways.
Definitely, and they've been having some tough losses again with Willingboro just last week with 62-6, which was a very bad blowout, but overall, hopefully Sterling can get back into winning ways after their long fourth streak loss.
And you see here the surface, as you get a good look at the grass. Kevin, we were on the field, and I'll tell you what, this surface is as good as any surface we've seen this year.
It's the first thing that stuck out to me, and I think you too. We got out of the car, we looked at it. You can just tell how green it was. And year in and year out, this has really been an outstanding field. You know, they really take good care of the football field. The baseball field's outstanding. I know the last time we came here had a little bit of a hiccup, had an issue with the grass, but really looks great tonight, especially at this point of the season.
As we pan to the middle of the field, you're going to see the captains for each team are going to be meeting each other. They're meeting at the 50-yard line, and yes, you see the lights are very low here. We are playing under temporary lights here at Overbrook. We did this a couple years ago. We've also done it at Haddon Heights. And, John, it's going to be very interesting to see when you put the ball in the air how the players react.
Definitely. It's definitely going to be – passing game is going to definitely be effective with the lights being that low. And it's going to really also affect the wide receivers. They're going to have to look up for the ball, and they're going to have a big shining light right at their face.
Yeah, Kevin, there's certain routes that are going to cause problems with the lights this low, too, as a pass play.
Yeah, the quick outs, and it's just a matter of something where I think, you know, as coaches, I'm sure they were trying to tell the kids just get used to that and run those types of routes and, you know, get your eyes used to following the ball in this situation.
As we mentioned, Overbrook comes in. They are 1-6. They are playing a ton of underclassmen and a lot of freshmen coming into this game. With their 1-6 record, they have scored 46 points this season as total. That averages out to 6 points a game. They have given up 252 points total this season, and they're going to have their hands cut out for them with the Sterling team coming in off that tough loss to Willingboro. So this game tonight is really set up for a Sterling win.
It really is, and you look at the PowerPoint situation. We talked a little bit about that. Sterling definitely needs this one for that to set them up for the playoffs. And I think, Tad, from a morale standpoint, you know, you lose a couple games, especially the way you lost last week, and the week before, a tight game against a team you're even up with. You really need to bounce back in a good way, in a big way tonight.
And, John, when you find out that the other team is giving up 36 points a game in Overbrook, that's got to be a good sign for Sterling.
Definitely. Just thinking, like, that you can actually get a win here. That's really what the team's really thinking about.
As they sit here with the PowerPoint standings, you combine Central Jersey and South Jersey. The top 16 teams get in. Right now, as we get ready for this game, Sterling would be the 13th seed. And believe it or not, they would travel to the 4th seed, Haddonfield, if the season ended tonight. And with that said, Kevin, Haddonfield is a team that you probably don't mind playing.
Not at all. I mean, you know, Haddonfield plays a tough schedule, has a lot of PowerPoints, is at that 4th seed. But, you know, Tad, when we went in there, we were down against them, and it was 13-6 at half, and we went into that halftime of that game and had the momentum. Just Haddonfield, as they always do, kind of pulled away at the end. But definitely a team that you feel like you can be competitive with.
Here you see Sterling as they get set to come out against Sterling, 2-5 on the season. They've scored 101 points per game. They average 14 a game while giving up 28. And there are your Sterling Silver Knights. 2 more games remaining in the regular season. Next week we will be back home for a game against Collings, with a game that used to be on Thanksgiving. they moved it up to give them their playoff chances a better shot of getting into the playoffs. So we're just about set here under the temporary lights. Looks like we're getting ready for the national anthem on what you couldn't ask for a better night for football. Not a breeze blowing, very comfortable. Glad you're with us live here in Sterling TV 19, getting set for Overbrook and Sterling. And again, any minute now, we're going to get the national anthem. Let's listen in. And we'll bring our live audience in now. And welcome to Pine Hill, New Jersey, where tonight Sterling TV 19 is proud to present high school football between your Sterling Silver Knights and the Overbrook Rams. I'm Tad Kosneski along with Kevin Schulz and John Hallwood. Overbrook, the home team, comes in 1-6, a team playing a lot of underclassmen. Sterling coming in 2-5. As you compare the two teams, Sterling scores about 14 points a game to Overbrook 6. The big difference, though, defensively, Sterling gives up 28 points a game, Overbrook 36. And Kevin, it's important for Sterling to get off to a good start.
No question about it. And that average that they give up obviously went up last week, giving up 62 points to Willingboro, but have to get off to a good start. And that's been an issue with Sterling in a lot of games. They haven't gotten off to a great start, but they're definitely looking to do that tonight, and I'm sure that was a big thing this week that the coach has really harped on.
And, John, we're playing under temporary lights on a beautiful field.
Definitely, and again, as I mentioned, that it will be playing a big factor in the passing game for the wide receivers and the quarterback.
So that's why you see those lights. Normally this is a field without lights. As Overbrook will kick off, they'll be in the dark blue, almost looking black on your screen. Sterling will receive on the right side of your screen. As Overbrook set to kick off, this will be Dominic Devlin back to kick. And Sterling will send back Shane L. and Trevon Potts. As we widen out, just about set for kickoff, game number 7. Here, actually, game number 8, I should say, that in the regular season, as Sterling is 2-5 and Overbrook 1-6. Second to last game in the regular season.
Still can't believe it.
Overbrook is ready. We're just about set for the kickoff. They're going to onside kick this. One of the upbacks has to take it. That's Jacob Paris. And Sterling's going to have great field position as they line it up 1st and 10 behind their sophomore quarterback, Jeremiah Thompson.
Well, you could see they just didn't want to get the ball to the deep return man of Sterling. You got Shane L. back there, Trey Potts, two guys who, when they get in the open field, can really make things happen.
1st and 10 for the Knights. Our first play from scrimmage here from Pine Hill and Overbrook High School under the temporary lights. There you see Jameer Robinson as we pan a little to the left. Jameer's to your left. Going in motion is Vales. They'll give it to Vales. Vales under those temporary lights, and he is taken down. No gain on that.
And a nice job there by Overbrook, kind of controlling the line of scrimmage on that side, allowing the linebackers to scrape over and make a play. Sterling didn't get much of a push off there on that right side, and that's something they're looking to do, looking to dominate, an area where they're looking to dominate tonight.
You can almost see by the naked eye, Overbrook is undersized coming in this one as they line up on the far hash mark. Again, we apologize, we're with temporary lights here. We're just going to have to deal with this part of the field. This time, this is Williams. Williams around the edge. Williams with a lot of room, hit hard, spins ahead across the 40, a gain of 13 and a first down.
And that's what Larry Williams can do for you. Get out to the outside in a hurry, get around the edge. Has had a lot of success this season in doing that. And, boy, does he get upfield quickly. And I think really put Overbrook back on her heels in that play and getting the first down.
John, you could see the amount of blocking room Sterling had.
Definitely, and that's a very good job for the offensive line.
1st and 10 from the 39. This is a pass play. Going far side, this is Estremera. Estremera jumps, makes the catch. He's inside the 5. A gain of about 35. Coverage on the play by Trey Taylor, but a beautiful throw on the play by Jeremiah Thompson.
Well, it's always a tough task if you're one-on-one with Mike Estremera up there, and Thompson just threw it up there and knew his receiver, Mike Estremera, would go up and get it. Shown great body control, great hands. That's the reason why he's one of the top wide receivers in this conference.
Inside the 5, 1st and 10 for Sterling. It's a 1st and goal. Here's Vales. Vales tries to get the edge, pushes in and gets in for the touchdown. So Vales scores from 4 yards out, and the Knights take the lead 6-0.
Well, Sterling just doing what they had to do. Other than that first play from scrimmage going off to the right side, Sterling pretty much controlled things offensively there en route to their first touchdown.
And you said that said that they needed to start out good. They did it in 4 plays.
Very efficient there as they lead it 6-0. We'll see if they'll kick more or less here. They're going to kick for this extra point, and they will line it up, and we'll show you the goalpost. As in to kick this extra point will be Dylan Jess. It's under the temporary lights here at Pine Hill. Schulz the snap. His kick is long enough, and the kick is good. 10 minutes, 32 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Sterling leads it 7-0 here on Sterling TV 19 as we'll come back into the press box here for our people watching live on YouTube. Tad Kazaneski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood. And we'll start with John. John, 4 plays, pretty impressive tonight.
Definitely, and we saw that nice pass to Estremera. I was mentioning that the quarterback and the wide receivers will be affected, and it definitely didn't look right there. It was simple. Just throw it up to Mike Estremera and let him catch it.
And I think that's a situation where it's more of a downfield pass. I think the passes where they're going to be affected are where you have the quick outs. But again, yeah, and Mike Estremera, only sophomore, probably going against a younger player out there. Mike Estremera isn't really your typical sophomore. We saw last year came in and really hit the ground running as a freshman and was very impactful on varsity, and obviously he's a veteran this year.
I want to thank Andrew Kane, who came up with this new technology. You can actually look at us here in the press box, but let's go back to the game right now. You'll help us out here, John, as we'll get back to the game. Thank you. And we'll bring back our recorded audience here. Tad Kazaneski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood, as we pan the camera all the way to the right as Sterling will begin to kick off. Sterling in the white, they lead it by a score of 7-0 as they will kick off. Big play there, as we mentioned, to Estremera. Here comes Overbrook straight up the middle, running right into one of his own men, and then going nowhere as he gets out to about the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 on the carry there by Montalto.
Well, Sterling imposed their will on the offensive side of the ball. Now it's their turn to do it defensively. Obviously, that was an area last week when you went against probably one of the better offensive you're going to see. Very big, very athletic. And Sterling just
1st and 10, Sterling. Shotgun formation. Tailback. Good running move here. Nice hit. Yard line on a tough run there. I believe that was Trey Taylor. I didn't catch who got the number on the hit. Actually, that was David Land on that carry.
And I think that was Shane L. Get to that second level, you better be looking out for Shane L because he's usually at the head of steam.
Ball 126 times. one you're definitely going to have to contend with. Land. He is met at the line of scrimmage. This time, Rashawn McQueen on the stop. They're going to lose maybe a yard or two.
And when Sterling's really done the job defensively and had an impact, it's been with their defensive line. We saw that, Tad and John, in the Haddonfield game, where they really did a great job, not only standing up the offensive line of Haddonfield, but getting penetration in the backfield. We're able to get a couple quarterback sacks and really cut things off going around the edge. So that's going to be a big factor tonight.
Yeah, definitely with Galvin Clark and Shane L.
As we hit the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter, it's going to be a 3rd down and 4 for Overbrook. Their quarterback, not too much of a slouch either. 34 for 72, 305 yards, has 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the freshman Bupp. Quarterback going to keep it. He wants to pass. This will be for a 1st down as he gets it out to Ulatowski. Ulatowski, one of the few seniors on the team, a gain of 9 and a 1st down. Ulatowski this season has now caught 6 balls, just under 100 yards.
Yeah, just rolled out to that left side. Nice simple play. Was able to get Ulatowski underneath coverage right there and hit him in stride. And just like that, they've got a 1st down. You know, and if you have a young team, that's the first basic thing you need on the offensive side of the ball. Getting things rolling, getting in a rhythm, the 1st down is going to do that.
From midfield, 1st and 10 for the Rams of Overbrook. 8:20 to go here in this first period. This is Land. Land pushes through. He's brought down by Schulz after he gets across the 45 and a gain of about 6.
Getting a pretty good push up there up front, and it's like they're double teaming to the point of attack and having success in a narrow window there because the backs are doing a good job finding that little seam. And again, not a bad job there on 1st down.
2nd down and 4 coming up for Sterling. Second down and 4. Fake pass play, get it off near side. This is complete. This is going to be a 1st down and more, as out at the 25-yard line is Ulatowski, tackled on the play by Shane L.
Well, they're finding a way with going back and forth between the running game, off tackle, either side, and then they establish that short passing game first to the left side where they got Ulatowski under coverage, and then right there to the right side. Nice job, nice throw, hitting the receiver in stride.
That was definitely their last pass play that they got for the 1st down. It looked the same, but just going in the other direction.
1st and 10 for Overbrook. Delay with it here is Land. Land still pushing. Maybe got 2 or 3 across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and a good job defensively getting to the point of attack, and that's the first time we've seen them on that run play off tackle. You know, to either side, Overbrook had success, but there you saw real nice penetration on the defensive side of the ball, especially up front, right at the line of scrimmage.
Just under 7 minutes to go here, first quarter. Sterling up 7-0. So Overbrook showing signs of life thus far. A team coming in that averages 6 points of offense a game. Land, left side, pulled down initially by Stephon Johnson. Gain of about a yard as he gets to almost the 21.
And you're seeing the defensive line doing a good job clogging things up there, not allowing anybody to get to the linebacker. And I think that's been a big part of the success you've seen on the last 2 plays on the defensive side of the ball for Sterling.
Pretty surprising start, John, thus far for Overbrook.
Really, it has been. We were really thinking the defense right now was going to really take control of this offense of Overbrook, but Sterling's having a little trouble.
3rd down and 6, almost 7. Up wants to throw. Looking, gets the pass off. It is low. Pretty good coverage intended for Jacob Montalto, and that'll bring up a 4th and about 6.
Yeah, and Bupp took a shot there from Gavin Clark. Really had a lot of pressure there up front. Saw Stephon Johnson get in there, and I think that had a lot to do with that low throw.
5 minutes, 50 seconds to go, first quarter. Sterling leading at 7-0. They drove down the field in 4 plays for their first touchdown of the game. The big one was a one-on-one play to Estermera on the far side of the field. This is a 4th down and almost 7. Buck from the shotgun. Low snap, he'll roll left. He's got trouble already. It's right in his face there was Shaw. Actually, McQueen was right in there, and that'll give Sterling the football.
Well, we've seen penetration in the middle. Then you saw that really good upfield penetration. And that's when that defensive line's really clicking. And, you know, we talked about Overbrook getting on an offensive rhythm. I felt like in these last plays, Sterling defensively, especially up front, has gotten himself in a defensive rhythm.
From the 27, 1st and 10, 5:44 to go here, first period. Richardson, far side on the delay, and Richardson has some running room. He's pushing along across midfield, down at the 46-yard line, tackled by Montalto after a gain of about 26.
Yeah, well, that's that play where you've got Jameer Richardson lining up pretty close to the line of scrimmage, and boy, you don't have much time to react if you're a defensive lineman, and a good thing as an offensive lineman, you don't have to hold your block that long, and Richardson really got to that second level in a hurry, showing a lot of speed there for a big guy.
Under 5:30 to play as we pan a little to the left. It is a 1st and 10 for Sterling. Great shot down the line of scrimmage. This is a pass play. Getting it off near side. That's picked off. Intercepted by Trey Taylor. Taylor almost runs into the referee. Then he's tackled on the play by Stephon Johnson. And that's a case there where Richardson saw something that wasn't there.
Yeah, that was just underthrown because you could see, obviously, you know, from what we've seen in the early part of this game with the big throw up top to Mike Estermera on the right side, you've just got to get it there. You've got to get it deep, allow Estermera to get under it, or get it to an area where Estermera can fight for it. But he really didn't have a shot on that one. That was just a poor throw. Not sure if it slipped off his hand or what, but a big break there for Overbrook.
Really is a big break for Overbrook. And again, Thompson just underthrows it, and Overbrook's able to get the interception, and could have really gained some yards off of the play.
From the 37, 1st and 10. This is a pass play. Near side open again is Ulatowski. Ulatowski, a gain of 9, almost 10, as Shane L is in there on the tackle.
Yeah, and that's that play that Overbrook's had a lot of success with. And you could see Sterling in kind of a way to fight that, have everybody up. Almost had 11 men in the box, but you had Shane L come up and back off a little bit. But Sterling's really trying to get a lot of bodies out there to the outside and loading up that linebacker area right there. But, hey, give credit to Overbrook. They were still able to exploit a spot and have success on that play.
2nd and 1 under the temporary lights here at Overbrook High School. Land. He finds a seam to the right, and Lamb is going to go. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Land is going to score from 55 yards out. For Land on the year, that is touchdown number 3, and there is a penalty flag now down at the field at the point of attack. And let's see, as we go back to midfield, the official with the white hat, I have a feeling this one's coming back. There's our official. It is holding, and it's coming back. So Overbrook, who was hoping for anything positive, gets a big negative there. And even though the penalty is going to cost him 10, that's a penalty that costs you 55 yards.
And that's the danger of having everybody up. You know, obviously they're doing that to stop that play, the short pass to the outside. But if you get a little bit into that second level, you're going to be going all the way. And you saw that with them going 55 yards for a score that obviously is going to get called back.
Not to mention, they also lose about 6 points.
Yeah, they lost to 6 points, 55 yards of field position. Penalty-wise, it goes as 10 in the book. They'll mark it from the spot of the foul, which was the 50. That'll put him 2nd down and 6. It's amazing, Kevin, when you're a struggling team, things like that happen.
The things that happen. As soon as we've been doing games long enough, when you see that flag right in that area, 95% of the time it's going to be the hold. on the offense.
And it was right where the big hole was that he went through, as you mentioned, so it became pretty obvious at that point. So 2nd down and 6 as Overbrook will back it up. 4:13 to go here, first period. But I think Sterling is on alert right now. Shotgun to bump. Land pushing ahead. He is met at the line of scrimmage by Gavin Clark. No gain, going to leave him 3rd and about 6.
And guys, you could see on that play, you had Shane L hovering up almost at the linebacker level on some of the previous plays, but kind of a reaction from a defensive formation standpoint, had Shane L back at the traditional safety position to not allow a big run like we saw on that previous play, which fortunately for Sterling was called back with the penalty.
3rd down and 6 for Overbrook from their own 42. 3:35 and counting, first quarter. Bupp wants to throw. He's got some room. Looking, gets the pass off, has a man there. And let's see, I believe it's caught. Now, unfortunately, it's behind the temporary lights there. As we'll zoom in, that man to the left there in the blue is the one who caught it. A little more left is number 5. That would be Khalil Griggs, a junior, and that's enough for a 1st down.
And that's a nice throw there by Bupp from the quarterback position, rolling out to the left side. Sterling had decent upfield penetration to the outside, kind of went a little bit deeper, had that underneath route covered, the one they've had so much success with, was able to get it a little bit deeper than that and had his man in one-on-one coverage. And that's a big 1st down there for Overbrook.
And you're seeing the pitfalls of temporary lighting right now, so we apologize for that. We'll try and follow through the lights as best we can. The big man Land tripped up, still on his feet. Shane Land on the carry is Shane L on the tackle. It's close to a 1st down.
And Lamb really doesn't need much space. Boy, he can really get things going there. And if you give him a little bit of room, got great acceleration.
They're going to call it 2nd and 1.
Sterling doesn't have to worry about Lands right now as he gets substituted off for number 19.
That is Michael Milligan, a junior. So Land actually is back at the tailback position, talking to Bump. Land's going to fake this now. Bump's going to take it right. He's running for his life, gets the pass off as Sterling had pretty good pressure on the play by Jacob Johnson, who was blitzing in. The pass is incomplete.
Well, you had good pressure, and you're bringing Shane L up there to really cover the flat on whatever way that play goes. So they had Shane L come up. They'll bump somebody back to the safety position. But Shane L out in the flat had great coverage, and that's the first time we had that play covered. And that's something, Sterling's going to have to do from this point on. That's a real good adjustment defensively by Sterling.
So far, the ball control factor in Overbrook's hands. 2:13 to go, first period. It's a 3rd and 1. Freshman Bupp, the quarterback, getting a lot of experience this year. This is Land. Land runs into a wall, and he is thrown down. As in there on the initial hit was Gavin Clark, and we'll see where first progress is. It's going to be 4th and maybe half a yard.
Yeah, it looked like they lined Gavin Clark up in the middle. I know we saw that in the Deptford game. Deptford was getting a lot of yards up the middle, put Gavin Clark in there. Sterling had some more success, and it looked like for a play there, they might have had him lined up in the middle to clog things up.
So we have a timeout on the field. 1:44 to go here in the first period. Sterling leads it by a score of 7-0, and we welcome you here live if you're watching on YouTube. Tad Kozineski, Kevin Schulz, and our student John Hallwood. And John, first of all, Overbrook came to play tonight.
They really did, and again, they had that 55-yard touchdown that sadly got drawn back by a penalty of holding. But they can definitely show that that they can run the ball and pass it really well.
And Kevin, you just never know what you're going to get when you come in to play any game.
You don't, and the thing that's impressive is how they're able to mix up the running game off tackle and go back and forth and able to execute that short passing game. They've probably had about 3 passes out in the flat, and obviously we just saw now where Sterling's adjusting to that, bringing Shane L up, having another safety drop back, and defensively Sterling, for the first time, has had success stopping that play.
And we'll bring back our taped audience. 4th down and 1, a big play here, shotgun, they throw it to the right, Land, now he pitches it, And it depends on where they spot this thing. That was not pretty by any stretch of the imagination. The officials are looking at it. Well, look at the white-haired official. He's saying first down.
And you know,
So whatever you call that, it worked for Overbrook. I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure what to call it.
when you're struggling, you just pull things like that out of your hat because you really have nothing to lose. It's a young team. And right now, guys, this Overbrook team's got to be feeling good about themselves with what they've been able to do on the offensive side of the ball here.
John, that was an odd-looking play.
Sterling's head coach doesn't like that call. He wanted the chains to be looked at.
They are not going to look at it. Do they give him first down? Land, he's going to be sore after this one. Initial contact by McQueen. Maybe he gets a yard as he gets across the 30. So we're nearing 1 minute to go here in the first period. Well, I think if Overbrook could, the only thing they wouldn't have scripted is the penalty on the touchdown, but they've got ball control and they're getting first downs.
They have, and you've got to be impressed with the confidence that they have in Eddie Bupp, the quarterback, only a freshman, doing what he needs to do in the way of having the rollouts. And I was impressed with when he rolled out left, they were having success in a short passing game. He was able to get that pass downfield complete and come up with a big first down.
Second down and 9, 33 seconds to go first period. Land weaving through traffic. Sterling now being a little more strong up the middle as Gavin Clark in there on the stop.
Right now, Sterling's noticing the certain plays and certain positions that Overbrook's been doing, and they notice that they've been using the same plays over and over again.
And that's just about going to do it for action here in the first quarter. For our taped audience, we'll step aside and take a break. Sterling leads it 7-0 here on Sterling TV 19. And back here for our live YouTube audience, I want to thank Andrew Kane, our cameraman, who actually came up with this technology where we can switch to a camera or two and talk to you. And so we want to thank Andrew for doing that. And again, I'll start with John. A surprising performance thus far for Overbrook.
Really is. As you mentioned it, they've been able to have ball control and really been getting those first downs on key plays. So whatever Overbrook's doing, just keep. Right now, their coach is just saying, keep it up.
And again, Kevin, David Land, number 2, the featured player, a junior. I think it's just a matter of finding a way to contain him.
Yeah, and when he gets the ball and gets to that second level, he's tough. But what Sterling's been able to do in the last few plays is gain penetration, get in the backfield, because he's the type of kid, once he gets upfield, you saw his speed, and Sterling can ill afford to allow a kid like that to get loose.
All right, we'll switch back to our other camera here. We'll let John here set that, and we'll get reset in a second to bring back our taped audience here. So let's bring back our taped audience now. Under the temporary lights here, Pine Hill, New Jersey, Overbrook High School. Overbrook hosting Sterling. So far, Overbrook hanging in, doing everything they'd like to do. Sterling does lead it on the scoreboard by a score of 7-0. There you see the Sterling defense, and so far that first quarter, they were out almost the entire first quarter. Overbrook's going to take the ball first. They'll have it 3rd and 9.
Well, that's probably the best way to beat a team when you're heavy underdogs is keep the offense off the field, and Overbrook did a good job of that in that first quarter.
See if Bupp wants to throw one here on 3rd and long. He does want to throw. Gets his pass off. There's a bit of contact, but they tripped over feet. There is no flag. It'll be 4th down and 9.
Well, good pressure, and we always talk about that throw when you're rolling to the left side, especially under pressure. You got to take that extra time to turn your body and make the throw, and Bupp really wasn't able to get a lot on that one.
So 4th down and 9, John.
Right now, Overbrook is going to go for it, and I would say they are going to go for it right now, probably for the touchdown, or if not the first down.
So far, what they've been able to do is roll out Bupp. We'll see what they do here from the far hash mark. It is 4th down and 9. They're going to fake it, pass play. It is dropped, though, on the play, as that was Ulatowski dropping it. Turnover on downs, and Sterling will pick up the ball.
Well, had Ulatowski open on that short side of the field, and I think Sterling might have been a little caught off guard in seeing Bupp go to the short side of the field. And you had a lot of room here on the side towards us, the wide side. But in any event, Sterling's going to take over in downs, and they just need to get back into a rhythm offensively.
11 minutes, 49 seconds to go until the half. Sterling will take over 1st and 10, just shy of the 30-yard line. And we're going to get a whistle. We'll see our official here. Now, nothing there. Oh, legal shift, I guess it was. False start against Sterling. Cost them 5. Sterling not off to the start they were looking for tonight.
No, and I think you went to the pass play. You got the big play to Mike Estremera, then the interception. I think right now they just need to pound the ball and also get around the edge, because you feel like, especially when you saw LJ get around the outside, you've got an advantage with your speed.
Delay near side, Vales. Vales finds a hole. Vales going to get the 1st down and more. Across midfield, looks to cut it ahead. He's tackled at the 40-yard line, tackled by Jonas Kalan. There is a flag down that was thrown at the 50-yard line near side of the field. It's going to be a block in the back against Sterling. Now, again, it was thrown at the 50, which was 10 yards beyond the 1st down marker. And there's actually 2 flags down.
Yeah, they're the ones that drive coaches crazy.
So there was one at the 50 and then one at the 40 of Overbrook. And it is coming back regardless. So they're going to say 1 block in the back, and that's what they're going to take. 1st down, because it was after the 1st down. Just going to knock them back a bit.
Yeah, if you're that far downfield and you think it's going to be even close, you just stay off blocking anyone in that situation. But I like that play. That play, I think the first time we've run it in a game has worked probably 90% of the time, especially against a young defense.
As we go to the right a little bit, man goes in motion. Back to pass now. Looking, gets the pass off. This is in trouble there. Good defensive play there as they were trying to get it to Vales, but Vales was behind the defender on the play. Not a well-chosen ball to throw there.
And pretty impressed with the upfield penetration to the outside. They were putting a lot of pressure on Jeremiah Thompson, kind of forcing him to go back a little bit. And that's going to affect how you make that throw and what you're able to get on that throw.
And you can see as soon as he let it go, that play was not going to be complete. If anything, it was going to be intercepted. So we'll pan a little bit to the right. We'll show you the defensive line of Overbrook. It's going to be a 2nd down and 10. You look right down the line of scrimmage. Williams runs right into Jonas Kalan. They're going to get no gain, if anything, half a yard. It's 3rd and 9.
That's actually Richardson.
That was Richardson on the run.
And Jameer Richardson, you only need to give him a little bit of room, but he had nothing. That was great penetration right in the middle. That defensive line just blew things up right there. You had 2 defensive linemen get in the backfield and got to Richardson before, again, he could get going upfield.
Again, we'll pan a little to the right here on 3rd and 9. Could be a passing situation for Thompson. Send a man in motion. Thompson straight back, looking far side all the way. He gets it off, has a man there. Estremera catches the ball, and a completion down at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 28 and a 1st down.
Again, not a bad job of coverage on Mike Estremera, but when Mike Estremera is one-on-one with somebody, you've just got to get the ball in the area, and Estremera is always going to win that battle for the ball, and he does right there, and that's a big 1st down off to that far side.
I thought Sterling was going to fake going deep and make Estremera just get the 1st down, because how far Trey Taylor was, they could have easily done that.
Yeah, and they always like to go to Estremera there.
1st and 10. Here comes Vales. Vales up the middle. Ball comes loose. Sterling able to jump on it. It would have been a fumble, so they're moving it back just beyond the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 2nd down and about 12. That's the last thing you want to see if you're a Knights fan.
Yeah, again, give credit to an Overbrook team, and like we said, it's coming in here, they're very young. You always say if your back's against the wall and you're the 2nd man in, go for the ball, and I think that's what they were able to do right there.
They are so young. There are a lot of 9s on this roster. Very rarely do you see a 9. They are predominantly freshmen. 2nd down and 13. Man in motion. Pitch it to him. This is Vales. Vales cuts it ahead. Gets the edge. Vale's going to be inside the 10 and a 1st down. And a great run there by Vales. He's tackled on the play by Bryce Powell, who's a freshman.
And Vales is a veteran, and you could tell how he ran that play like a veteran, reading what's in front of him, waiting for things to develop, and then just hit that in the second gear, got to that next level, and again comes up with a big first down.
Under 9.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's 1st and goal. Back to pass, gets the pass off, it is caught, and in the end zone for the touchdown is Brandon Grace. Sterling increases the lead. I believe that's the first touchdown of the year for Grace.
Yeah, quick slant in. Brandon Grace gets himself open, uses his body against the defender, and great job there by Brandon Grace.
Brandon Grace is probably the shortest young man in the field, but I'll tell you what, he's a tough young man, and I'm very happy to see him get that one.
Well deserved by Brandon Grace.
He's going to actually be the holder on this kick coming up now for Dylan Jess.
Seems that he's actually found his jersey.
Yes, he did. Last week he had his wrong jersey. So extra point try for Dylan Jess. Kick is long enough, and the kick is good. 9:16 to go here in the first half on Sterling TV 19. We'll step aside and take a break. Sterling leads it 14-0. And now we'll come back into the press box. I think we can breathe a little bit easier now, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, Sterling right now is just showing that they're too much for Overbrook to handle on the defensive side of the ball. Overbrook was playing with a little bit of confidence, but you get that big play to Estremare out on the outside, and then Vales did a great job on that play to the outside. Again, reading what's in front of him, delaying just a little bit and turning on the afterburners to get the first down, and, of course, a great slant to Brandon Grace to finish things off.
For Overbrook, the problem hasn't been the rushing game. It's been the passing game against them.
Yeah, and you can clearly see, again, 1v1 with Estremera. It's been really effective for Sterling getting those key first downs.
And we'll send things back and get ready for our taped audience to join us again. And we'll bring back the taped audience. As we welcome you back, Sterling leading at 14-0 on the touchdown pass to Grace. Sterling in to kick off, and I tell you what, Overbrook has to be kicking themselves because they got to feel like they've been in this game. They just have not been able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, and if your coach, I'm sure the coaches are saying to a young team, hey, let's build on some of the positives that we've had going on in this game and just keep playing hard.
Line drive kick. This may roll to the end zone. All the way back on the right side of your screen, and it does. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line, where Overbrook will take over 1st and 10. While we got a minute, we congratulate the field hockey team. The field hockey team went down to Pinelands High School, their second-round playoff game, won it by a score of 2-0. So congratulations to them. For our live YouTube audience and everyone else, Sterling TV 19, we'll be traveling Monday to Cedar Creek High School with the girls soccer team as they take on Cedar Creek. We'll have that game live at 2 or 3 o'clock. I believe that game's 3. Tuesday, the boys travel to Barnegat High School in their playoff game. We'll have that game live on YouTube as well.
Pineland was like the 2nd seed for field hockey, so Sterling pulled up an upset.
Certainly did. Congratulations to the Lady Knights field hockey team. 1st and 10 from the 20. The freshman Bupp calling the signals. He has one man behind him to his right. That's Land. And Sterling may have jumped. I don't know, was he drawn off?
They're pointing to Overbrook.
Yeah, they're going to say Overbrook's going to cost him 5, so somebody in Overbrook jumped, move him back 5. Sterling so far lately has been able to stop the running of Land, the junior, but Land has been a pretty impressive runner thus far.
Yeah, no question about it. And again, it looks like they, tough to see from here, but they put Gavin Clark towards the middle of the field to kind of stuff things up.
You can see him now. He slides over to the left side. This is a 1st and 15. Land cuts around the edge. Nice open field tackle. Is bringing him down was Brandon Grace. So Grace scores on a touchdown. Then on a tackle, it's only a gain of about 5. It'll leave him 2nd and 10.
Well, a great job coming up. You could see the defensive line did the job right there. That was an off-tackle play. Force Lamb to bump it out to the outside. We always say, Ted, anytime you've got a back going laterally, it gives time for those defensive backs to come up and make a play, and Brandon Grace was able to do just that.
8 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the half. Shotgun formation is Rupp. Rupp rolling to his right. He's looking to pass. Gets the pass off, and it is dropped. It was partially deflected on the play by Larry Williams. You see Williams there, number 8, intended for Khalid Griggs.
And Larry Williams had that one. You could see him kind of smacking his hands together. And if he was able to get that one, he was clear sailing to the end zone. Nothing but green right in front of him. But a good job being there to kind of tip it.
8 minutes, 27 seconds to go, first half here on Sterling TV 19. Sterling leading at 14-0. A win this week and a win next week will just about ensure that they will be in the playoffs. Right now they sit in the 12th spot of 16 teams. 16 will make it. This is a pass play, near side. Good catch by Montalto. Montalto going to get about 5 or 6 before the entire defense is on there on the tackle. I see Grace in there, Johnson in there. It's going to leave them about 3 shy of the first. It'll be 4th and 3.
I'd be really surprised if Overbrook goes for this.
They may have to punt here. It looks like, I believe they put the punt team on. So they will kick. It looks like into kick will be Jonas Kalan, I believe. Let's see if he goes back wide. No, he's not. Maybe that's Taylor. Now they're going for it. They fooled us again.
Yeah.
Now they are going to. They are going to punt. Now he's very tight for a punt.
Yeah.
This is almost where the running back stands. Man in motion.
No, it looks like they're
maybe they're going, I guess. This is a strange one. Now they're going to punt, and it's blocked. Picked up by Schulz after the block. And I don't know what they were doing on that play because the kicker was only about 10 yards back. Usually you want to be 15, and that turned into be an easy block.
Especially if you were looking last week and saw what Shane L was able to do. I think the week before, a couple times, Shane L, when he's up there, it's probably the fastest guy in the team, is able to get in there in a hurry, and he was all over that. He got in there so early, he almost ran past that one.
Strange format. That's why it was hard for us to figure out. It looked like a passing formation. He was so tight. 1st and 10. Met at the line of scrimmage. He's not able to get a whole lot. Nice tackle by Land defensively on the carry by Bell. I believe that's the first time we've seen Bell, and actually that must be Johnson, number 2. It looks like 7, but that's a 2. So Johnson, the senior, on the carry.
Probably tied in that formation. You're young all around. You might have a young long snapper, and you just want to. You're worried that if he's got to go longer than a certain amount, the normal distance, you're worried about him not getting it there.
If I'm the punter, I'm just going to catch it and kick it. Yeah. I'm not even taking a step then if you're going to be that close. Yep. 2nd and 10. This is a pass play. Down the middle, it is long, and this one is picked off. And Sterling is fortunate because Montalto had some running room down the sidelines, as it's the 2nd interception of the game against Sterling.
Thompson took a hit. Boy, he's been under a lot of pressure. We talked about in some of the rollouts where Overbrook's been able to get good upfield penetration. That one just went off to the left a little bit. And Overbrook is just kind of blown through right there and really not giving Thompson a lot of time to set his feet.
I had a chance before the game to talk to head coach Frank Wachinski, who used to teach and coach with us here at Sterling, and he just said, hey, these kids, they battle. He said, we got a ton of freshmen, but he said they're going to battle, and he likes the group he has. It just, you're up against it when you have 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds going up against 17-year-olds.
So we always say that if a kid who's 6'2", 200 pounds as a junior or senior, even if you have a kid that's that size as a freshman or sophomore, they're not as grown into their bodies, not as mature as the older kid would be.
Timeout is taken on the field. We have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Sterling leads it 14-0. And we bring you live back here for our live audience back into the booth. I want to thank Andrew Kane, our cameraman, for setting this up for us tonight. And Andrew, they keep shooting themselves in the foot, John.
Really have been. And Sterling was really close to scoring that touchdown. And he was just, I think he threw it just to get rid of it because he saw pressure coming right towards him, and which sadly led to an to an interception, but hopefully the defense can stop Overbrook from scoring and get an easy, probably could get a safety out of this too.
Oh, we'll see. It's going to be close as we'll get ready to switch back now to our audience. And Kevin, it's a matter now of Sterling just keeps shooting themselves in the foot.
They really do, and I think if you see them get in that situation, I think more than likely you're going to see them probably go with that play to the outside or go off tackle.
Let's welcome in our recorded audience now. To the right we go. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation. Quarterback wants to keep this himself. He throws it far side, and it should have been complete, and it was dropped on the play as he had a wide open Khalid Griggs. And for some reason, Griggs wanted to jump for the ball, and he didn't have to. And it was dropped.
And I continue to be impressed with the confidence that they have in Buck on the outside, on him rolling out to the outside.
Yeah, Bob, it's real surprising. You're letting a freshman do that, and he looked okay. So 6:33 to go here. First half, it's a 2nd and 10 inside their own 5. You can see if you're just tuning in, we're under temporary lights here tonight from Overbrook. So again, they will try it once again. In the backfield this time is Bowers. Bowers, you see him as the deep back. Bowers is a freshman. Pass near side of the field. Caught and spinning is Montaldo. There's hardly any room there. As Brandon Grace on the tackle, they may have gotten a yard.
Well, good job of Grace just getting up there, and right when Montalvo caught it, as soon as he spun around, Grace was right there to make the play. Good, solid defensive football coming up. I always say when you get in that situation, break down, give yourself some bounce each way, and Brandon Grace was able to do that.
Sterling keeps them Overbrook right here. The punt team's going to be in their own end zone, and that could even lead to a safety.
Yeah, if you're going to punt from 10 yards back, I think even I could block it at that point. 3rd down and 9. As we mentioned, Bowers still in the backfield. Buff from the shotgun. He's standing in his own end zone. Hands it up to Bowers. Bowers pushing ahead, and Bowers powers ahead for a 1st down and a gain of 11.
Wow, give credit to this Overbrook team. That's a gutsy effort there, going off to that left side a little bit and getting a big 1st down. That was just a great job up front. And again, little plays like that, you see this offense just continue to regain confidence and starting to feel good about themselves.
5 minutes, 18 seconds and counting until the half. It's a 1st and 10 for Overbrook. Ball's about the 15-yard line. So the freshman Bowers on his first carry. He remains in next to Bupp. Bupp wants to throw. Gets it off. And that is incomplete. Had it in the receiver's hands, though, again. And yet another drop by Griggs.
Yeah, and another nice throw by Bupp. You know, that's
and we have a flag down, roughing the quarterback against Sterling. So this is going to be yet another 1st down.
And there's been a few plays where Bupp's been getting hit, and it was very close to roughing the passer, and obviously kind of went over the line on that one, and that's a big break here for Overbrook.
The ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, just under 5 minutes to go in the half.
And Tad, another thing with that 1st down, getting back into what they did in the 1st quarter, is dominating the time of possession.
1st and 10 from the 30. Shotgun for Rupp. Bowers. Remember, this is a freshman spinning ahead at the ankles. That was Vales on a tackle after a gain of about 4. He's a pretty big young man for a freshman.
Yeah, and just impressed with the way either Bowers or Lamb is bouncing off people, spinning around. And these are guys that are really playing with, as freshmen, playing with a lot of confidence. And probably, you know, they've taken their lumps this year, but when you have a younger team, they probably make bigger strides and show more improvement from game 1 to this point of the season than most of the veteran teams.
2nd down and 7. Back into the game now is David Land at tailback. Land. He is hit at the line of scrimmage, and he is going to go nowhere. Big stop there is trying to pursue that in. You can see the big man there, Gavin Clark, the senior, is having a great job from his position on the front defensive line.
Yeah, great job of penetration. Not sure, but they might have shot a gap right there, and that's something, you know, you do to kind of get things going on a defensive line, to get in the backfield and get the guys like Lamb and Bowers before they get going upfield, because when they get to that second level, you know, you're coming in to tackle them, but they're also delivering a hit.
3rd down and 6 for Overbrook. The ball at about their own 34. Bupp rolling to his right. Gets the pass off, has a man there. A nice defensive play. Reaching from behind to make the play was Shane L. It was a pretty well-thrown ball. Nice defensive play.
Well thrown, and it looked like the receiver slipped, or they might have had an opportunity at that one. And, again, you're very, very impressed with what Bupp's been able to do in a rollout situation and what he's able to get on the ball in some of these throws.
Well, here's this interesting situation again where Cullen goes back. He will punt. He was about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. He's about 12 yards off right now. He better hurry with this kicker. It's going to get blocked again. Sterling back at their own 40. Low snap. Does get it off. Good job by Cullen. It won't be deep. It's going to bounce at the 50, and it's going to stop at the 46. We'll take a break for our taped audience, and we'll come back with more here in a second. And again, we'll welcome you back in the press box into our new setup, set up by Andrew Kane. And here we go again, Kevin. Sterling with a chance here. I think they need to score here in this break to see what they can get going.
No question about it. And I'm looking for them just to basically establish the running game, because in any passing situation, it looks like Overbrook, a team that has nothing to lose, is taking chances. And you've seen a few blitzes. And obviously in that last throw, really got in on Jeremiah Thompson, laid a real good hit on him. And, you know, that, I think, is something you're worried about if you're Sterling. So you run the ball, I think you've got a better shot here.
John, if you put us back on the other camera for a second here, I'll explain what just happened on the field, and we'll bring back our other audience. Let's bring back our other audience here for a second.
And the call was running into the kicker.
Sterling is called for running into the kicker. It's not enough for a first down. It's 4th down and 1, so they're going to kick it again. But they only need 1 yard if they want to do something tricky with it. Cullen back now. What do we have? Now a timeout is called Overbrook, and I think that's a pretty good job to call timeout. They may go for it. So we'll take a break with our taped audience. We'll return in a minute. 3:11 to go here in the first half. Sterling leading at 14-0. As we'll get back to action here, as you can see Mr. Schulz adjusting our little scoreboard that we have for our taped audience here. And John, again, I think there's a chance right now for Overbrook maybe to go for one. They're going to go deep in the playbook, see if they can get a first down.
Really is, and I think they're going to give it to Lands, their #1 running back, kind of junior, and Sterling's been able to stop him, but he's still been able to have some explosive plays.
Yeah, if you don't get in the backfield, you don't gain penetration against Lamb, he'll get a first down right here. So look to Sterling to anticipate what you just said, John, and try to shoot one of the gaps, maybe stun up front in an effort to get to Lamb before he gets going upfield.
All right, we'll go to our taped audience and bring it back here. All right, now in the backfield, they will go for it, as Land is your lone setback. So they are going to run a play. They need a yard. Up the middle, pushing, and Land, it depends on the spot. If they spot it across the 40, which I think they're going to do, I think he got it.
They might just put it short.
Let's see. Boy, it is really close. We're going to have to zoom in this football. They may take, now they're going to give him the first down. He just had to get across the 40. So Overbrook, a gutsy call, gets a first down.
Yeah, got that good forward progress. And again, they're the things you're going to do if you're an Overbrook team that is playing with nothing to lose, down 14-0. And give credit to them. They're coming up. They're making plays. And just a young team, but playing like a very confident young team.
Under 3 minutes to go and counting here in the first half. Sterling leading at 14-0 as we pan a little to your left. Bupp from the shotgun. He wants to pass, gets it off near side to Montalto, and Montalto goes nowhere. Brandon Grace again defensively gets a little help from one of his friends on the play, Trevon Potts.
Yeah, and that's a play where Potts and Grace are doing an outstanding job in reading the play and just getting themselves up in position to make the tackle. And the play really has no chance when you're able to do that on the defensive side of the ball.
2 minutes, 10 seconds and counting to go here first half. Overbrook will face a 2nd down and 11. This is Land. Land on an ankle tackle takes him down. And Sterling will call time. They'll stop the clock. 1:50 to go here in the first half. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9 when we return. Again, we welcome everybody watching along live on YouTube here tonight. Glad you're with us. Tad Koski, Kevin Schulz, our student helping us out here tonight. Glad you're with us. We have a big week, Kevin, coming up with some playoff games during early in the week coming up.
Yeah, it's always busy. We've got girls soccer, boys soccer, both road, obviously in by field hockey today, so they're still alive. So these are the weeks where we're running around crazy trying to figure everything out, but it's a lot of fun, and you know, it just shows the type of success that our teams are having.
Our soccer teams are still alive, John.
Yep, and I was there to commentate that Triton game, and really what shows from Sterling is that you gotta, even though they lost 3-0, they still got to look at the positives out of that game. They were able to block a penalty. It was unfortunate that Triton got it back, but it was definitely a good showing for Sterling.
All right, and we'll bring back our taped audience right now. It's a 3rd down and 8 as we'll zoom it out a little bit more. There you go, as you see David Land from his tailback position. This is Land. Land carries a Knight for a gain of about 6, and Sterling will take another timeout. 1:43 to go here in the first half. That should be Sterling's last timeout. We'll return with more with our taped audience in a moment. John, we'll get back to you. I like the nil with soccer. I know you're a big soccer fan. Your family's from overseas, so I know you're a big soccer fan.
Definitely. My dad's from Liverpool, England. Chose a very rival-ish team for Manchester United. Liverpool and Manchester United, very big rivals over in England. And, of course, I'm wearing my Chelsea shirt, so, which...
Okay.
How long did it take you to get used to the American football?
It didn't take me a while. I'd say I'd seen it a lot, so it took me more to get used to of, as we call it here, soccer, and as England calls it, football. But it took me a little bit longer for soccer to really know everything.
Good deal. We're glad we could have you here with us. Let me see if I can switch this over now, and we'll bring back our live audience here. All right, let's bring back our live audience. All right, as we widen it out more, the punt team is on. You'll zoom out some more. With 1:43 remaining, the punt team is in. Send a man in motion across the formation. Calling in to kick. Low snap again, partially deflected as he gets that off. And Sterling's going to take over at their own 36-yard line, and I'll assume because they took some timeouts, that they're going to attempt to try and get this ball into the end zone with a 14-0 lead.
But what Overbrook did, guys, on the offensive side of the ball, getting some first downs, of course, was aided by a couple of penalties. You know, that's the difference between Sterling getting the ball maybe at midfield or better with 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, or the situation they're in right now when they're back on about their own 37-yard line with 136.
If you go to Sterling has the ball in the white, you'll see them on the left. So now Sterling will have the ball. We'll zoom it out a little more as they will most likely throw, and they do. The pass play far side. Here's Estremera. Estremera with the Jets on. He is tackled after a gain of nearly 20 yards. The clock is stopped on the first down.
Well, after going downfield and having some trouble with that, you see Sterling go with the safe play out to Mike Estremera and allow him to use his legs to make a play and kind of cut inside. Maybe on that one would have liked to see him go outside.
1st and 10 from the 45, looking far side again. Estremera on the catch behind the temporary lights. You'll just have to trust me on that. Estermare with a gain of about 2 or 3. So that's the only down point of these temporary lights, is that you temporarily can't see part of the field.
But Estermare there was able to get out of bounds. You saw Overbrook read that play a little bit better. We're kind of playing back off Mike Estermare there earlier.
1:19 to go here, first half. The clock will go on the snap. Man in motion, that's Vales. They want to throw. Throw near side, it is to Vales. Vales with some open room across the 40 and down to 35. And a flag flies late as a hit by Larry Williams after the man went out of bounds is going to cost Sterling 15 yards. Here comes the referee, and right away the coaches react.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, where's the penalty flag kind of come in from?
As an 8-yard pickup before the flags came in.
But they also look like they're putting at Overbrook.
Personal foul. It's going to go against Sterling. Again, that was a late hit. Larry Williams. Out of bounds. And penalty. Back to midfield for Sterling. It's going to be second and about 15, almost 16.
Yeah, you had that penalty. You had an illegal block earlier, running into the punter. So Sterling's had penalties at inopportune times that has really set them back.
It is actually 3rd down and 16. Probably a pass play coming up here from the shotgun. This is Thompson. Thompson does want to throw. Pressure up the middle, and he is going to be sacked on the play. Sacked by Jonas Kalan, and they're going to lose almost 10 more.
Now that's where Overbrook has had success, kind of just blowing up the middle right there. And again, getting on Jeremiah Thompson before he could really even set his feet.
Sterling may have to punt here as we'll widen out. Yeah, the punt team is going to have to come on. So Overbrook, I think, at least doesn't allow any Sterling scoring at the end of the half as the punt team is in.
Yeah, this is an Overbrook team down 14-0 that, with all things considered, have to feel pretty good about themselves going into the break.
Looks like Thompson into punt. He's going to end up kicking about his own 30-yard line. Montaldo standing at his 30. Nice high kick. It's going to bounce. Sterling gets a bounce their way, and it's going to die at about the 21. We'll take a quick break for our taped audience. Be back with more in a moment. Final 16 seconds here for our live audience on YouTube. Glad you're with us. As again, we have about 16 seconds remaining in this first half. We'll have whatever goes on the halftime festivities for you here from Overbrook. But all things considered, as we'll get ready to switch back here, as Overbrook looks like they're getting ready to go. Looks like Overbrook's here to play tonight.
No
as
question
it looks
about
like
it.
We'll bring back our taped audience now. As we pan way to the right now, looks like Overbrook is just going to kneel down on this ball and be happy to go to halftime. So they will kneel down, and that will run out the clock here in the first half. A very interesting first half of action. 14-0, Sterling leads it. We will take a break for our taped audience at the half. For our YouTube audience, hang around. We will be back with more here on Sterling TV 19. Don't know if we have a halftime graphic or not in there, or we're getting ready for the third. As we'll bring it back in here in the box for a couple minutes, and we'll have our man on the roof set the camera. And I'll start with you, John. Kind of surprising early on what we saw there.
It really is. Anytime Overbrook had the ball, they just held on to it as much as they could. And they really slowed down Sterling's offense.
Kevin, a quick thought before we go. Looks like homecoming's coming up.
Yeah,
We'll go to
well, Overbrook did a lot of good things. The way Butt rolled out and was able to complete the passes, and Lamb and Bowers did an outstanding job running it off tackle. And then you couple that with the fact that Sterling had penalties at inopportune times. That's why we're at a 14-0 game. Could be a lot more, but Overbrook has to feel pretty good about themselves going into the half.
All right, what we'll do is we'll switch cameras for us people watching, you people watching on YouTube, and for our people, especially in the Overbrook viewing area, might be watching. Here's the homecoming festivities. Then we'll return with the game action when the game action returns. So here's homecoming.
I We would like to now present our homecoming King, Queen, and Court for 2019. First is our 2018-2019 homecoming queen. Come out, Diana Gaff. She'll be escorted onto the field by her mother, Patty Gaff. And please welcome our 2018-2019 homecoming king, Aaron Tart. He's escorted by his friend, Alexa Owens. Next is our 9th grade runner-up, Jaden Motes. She is escorted by her father, Anthony Infante, her stepmom, Shelly Infante, and baby sister, Tiana. Next up is our 9th grade Duchess, Sahir Lovett, escorted by her father, James Lovett.
How can we get inside of this track to run on the weekend?
Next is our 10th grade second runner-up, Taylor Findanza, escorted by her boyfriend, Colin Bailey.
Kelsey, are you going to start running? I don't want to be that friend. You were the only reason I started.
Our 10th grade runner-up, Caitlin Bendig, escorted by her mother, Donna Brady.
I know, I need her to.
And our 10th grade homecoming princess, Lorelei Scully, escorted by her brother, Dylan Scully.
You don't get tuition reimbursement. They don't cover for braces, so it's like, I pay.
If we kind of follow to the right, we follow that young man with the crown there, John.
All right, our first
John
runner-up
Andrew,
for
there you go.
homecoming
Follow that
king
man
is
with the crown to
Tyler
start.
Brown, escorted by his grandmother,
That's who we're talking about
Charlotte
now.
Brown.
When I was paying $160 a month.
And then they'll go back now. We can go to the next person, see who we have. We'll follow from there.
But then not even get tuition reimbursement or the
Our 2019-2020 homecoming king is Avante Harris, who is escorted by his mother, Susan
Our
Davis.
surgeons give us a Benny card though, so they pay $2,500 of it. So ours goes to like a capital provider and but they don't have that.
Next, we have our second runner-up for homecoming queen, Destiny Hall, escorted by her father, Kenneth Hall. Our first runner-up for homecoming queen is Diana Adiza. She is escorted by Mrs. Sayano and Miss Banner. And our 2019-2020 homecoming queen is Juliana Ringstaff, escorted by her father Randy Ringstaff, her brother Randy Ringstaff.
Let's just give you a shot of them coming in the screen right now. They're off the screen to the left. If you go left here, there's your homecoming queen. We'll zoom in on our group here.
And once again, a big round of applause for our homecoming queen, homecoming king, and the entire homecoming court.
And you can see the homecoming court here. It looks like the band is going to play afterwards. So once we're done here, we'll just give you a wide shot of the band, and then we'll let you listen into the Overbrook band as they get set to perform once this is done with our homecoming festivities. You see the score. We're at halftime here, live on YouTube. Glad you're with us. Again, we'll remind you, for all our Sterling fans out there, we'll be live on YouTube Monday. We're going to Cedar Creek for girls soccer. A game, I believe, is a 2 or 3 o'clock game. You just have to check one of our social media outlets to find out the exact time. The boys are going to go all the way further down the shore and play Barnegat on Tuesday. We'll have both those games for you live on YouTube, and for our fans watching on YouTube will also get cable the taped version of these broadcasts as well later in the week. Right now we'll center the band a little bit for you as we pan a little bit to the right and maybe down a little bit. Give you a
Please
shot of the
welcome
band.
the Overbrook Marching Band that will perform. Director Eric Krebel, Assistant Directors Michael O'Brien and Phil Dawson, Percussion Head Tyler Graves, and Woodwind Tech Mackenzie Gillis. Our drum major is Ivy Sosing, our assistant drum major is Isaiah Robinson, and our field captain is Aaliyah Cruz.
Let me run around. I learned how to walk in the last 5 minutes.
Wait, why is the microphone turned towards us?
I don't know. Because they can hear it all our stuff.
Wait, that's the band? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Ready? One, two, three.
Like, how'd she get that? This is where you would have went, the house
dad's. Let me see her dad. Very small school too? Yeah, so they play side. So it's like, don't pull in her head, buddy. Oh, mommy's right there. Mommy's right there. What's good? Did you say Moses? At least for mama? I'm sick of this yelling.
Oh my God, that's funny. Cam used to do that too.
Just whip it out. Can't just whip it out. All right, Cam, come over here. We're gonna take a 4 picture. And then she's probably everybody actually did like each other.
You'll probably have to do it with your arms over there. Wait, buddy, I was moving. Wait a minute.
The baby's looking like all right, one more thing. Move your head into now look at my mouth. Put your head in the picture. There we go.
Well, at least he smiled. You know how many times I gotta take a picture of him to get him to look without crossing his eyes, sticking his tongue out.
All right, please give another round of applause to the Overbrook Marching Band.
Dance only $3-4. You take that all of your money at Walmart, so don't be upset that I'm being cheap. Figure it out.
And we would like everybody to get out their tickets for the 50-50 and gift baskets that they may have purchased prior to the game.
Money just burns a hole in his hand.
We're going to announce the winning numbers for the 50-50 and the winning gift baskets.
Then he had like $30 in my
The
bag.
prizes can be picked up at the table where you bought them as you entered the field.
So $60 going like that at Walmart, but then he'll still ask for stuff.
All right, the 50-50 ticket, the orange ticket. The winning number for the 50-50, which is your orange ticket, 2, 5, 1, 9, 6, 0. Again, your orange ticket, winning 50-50 ticket. Orange ticket number 2, 5, 1, 9, 6, 0. Your prize can be picked up at the table where you purchased the ticket as you entered the field. We also have a raffle for gift baskets. These would be your blue tickets. All right, the first gift basket.
And we welcome everybody back. John, if you slide in a little bit, we can catch you on here. What I want to do first is we want to give you some updates of some scores. The first thing, we have a soccer score for you that involves Sterling. Sterling needed Haddonfield to lose against Haddon Heights today to possibly win the division. Unfortunately, Haddon Heights lost the game to Haddonfield. They needed to win. So Haddonfield is going to win the division for soccer. That score was a 3-0 score. So that's updating soccer-wise. We'll give you some football scores around the league right now. Haddon Township is beating Clayton 35-20. Pittman over Cumberland 13-6. Willingboro, who we saw last week, is playing Woodrow Wilson, beating them right now 14-6, which is amazing for the amount of points we saw last week. Highland and Burlington Township are tied at 7. Buna leads their game 14-13. Williamstown, one of the highly touted teams in South Jersey, only leads Shawnee 7-0. Hamilton over Eastern 21-14. Holy Spirit 34, Kingsway 27, and Millville leads Atlantic City 28-2. And Kevin, I'll say it frank here. Sterling did not play very well at all here in that first half, but at least they lead at 14-0.
Yeah, they scored twice, but other than that, boy, did not play well. Had penalties at bad times, at inopportune times, and Overbrook took advantage of it. I think one of the biggest stats, and we don't have it on here, is time of possession. I felt like Overbrook really controlled the time of possession, kept the ball out of Sterling's hands, and Sterling put the ball in the air a lot and obviously paid for it. I look for them to look to maybe run the ball a little bit more, use the advantage that they have going around the edge. L.J. Williams initially was able to get around the edge. You saw John Vales get around the edge. So that's an area where I think they have an advantage, and I would think that in the second half you would have to look to them to exploit that.
And, John, we'll have you look at the Overbrook team. They've got to be pretty happy overall. It's only 14-0. They're down.
Really, they should be happy, and they really kept themselves in this game so far, and they should be really proud of themselves. As you said, they're really a freshman team. And with this freshman team and with a freshman quarterback, not to mention, they've been doing well. And with their run game and their pass game, again, lands, it's been a real trouble for Sterling's defense. So if you're Overbrook's coach, just keep doing what you're doing.
And hopefully Sterling, I think, I'm sure they got a wake-up call at halftime.
No question about it. I mean, you can't have the penalties that you had, a couple blocks downfield, especially on plays that were already 20 yards into it. You were downfield. At that point, if it's even close, you want to lay off a block. But just from a standpoint of, you know, it's funny how you'd say they're up 14-0, but
doesn't
you never
feel
felt
like
like Sterling ever got into a rhythm. You had a couple big plays that got him around the end zone for the scores, but there just was no offensive rhythm, and obviously on the defensive side of the ball, they struggled to stop the backs on off-tackle plays, and Bupp was able to get outside and do a nice job from the quarterback position.
I think Thompson's had an off first half, too. He had 2 interceptions. He could have had 1 or 2 more. He's not seeing the ball well tonight or throwing what he needs to throw.
No, and I think a lot of that, on a couple of the plays, you've got to give credit to Overbrook, whether they're stunning, whatever they're doing up front, they're blowing up front, and Thompson in a lot of plays is getting hit and really doesn't have time to set his feet and make the throws that he can make.
All right, John, why don't you swing us over to the other camera here, and we'll get ready to bring back our live audience here on YouTube and Sterling TV 19. So let's bring back now, Andrew, our live audience, our taped audience, I should say. And we welcome everybody back under the temporary lights at Overbrook at half here on Sterling TV 19. Sterling leads at 14-0. We're just talking a little bit to our live audience on YouTube. I think Sterling overall 14-0. I bet the paint was peeled a little bit in there. They had some gut checks going on in the locker room.
Sure, and it's a tough week of preparation. You're going against a team that hasn't won, but at the same time, if you're Sterling, man, you want to come out and really lay it on the line, especially with what had happened last week with the blowout loss against Willingboro, and coming on the heels of 2 weeks ago, a tight, gut-wrenching loss to Deptford. So hopefully, we'll see a different team in the second half when we're looking at Sterling.
As you see, we're in temporary lighting. We'll zoom in just a little bit. Sterling in the white, they will kick off. So Overbrook's going to get their shot here in the second half. They were able to move it. Just couldn't quite get things together, but Sterling with a couple turnovers, as we mentioned, on the interceptions that helped keep him in it. But I'll tell you what, I didn't know what to expect out of this Overbrook team, a team coming in that was 1-6. And they're giving Sterling everything they can handle right now.
Again, you mentioned those temporary lights, and they're definitely playing a big factor in this game for the quarterback, Thompson.
We'll see if you can find him. We'll zoom out now, and here comes the kickoff to start the second half. Nice, high, deep kick. This looks like Griggs.
Drop, too.
Griggs going to pick it up and goes around his 20. Still on his feet is Griggs. One man slows him down. Griggs still on his feet. There is a flag at the 20-yard line. Another flag is just thrown. There is a player down at the 40-yard line that wanted to take a swing at a Sterling player. That's all the way down our side of the field. So there's a flag at the 20 where the initial contact was made. And then you had a player from Overbrook back at about the 35, had 2 of his own players tackle him and drag him off the field. So now the official's going to have to sort this one out. And, Kevin, every time it looks like Overbrook gets something positive, there's some laundry on the field.
Yeah, and that was it. With that high kick, you felt like Sterling had the advantage getting down there in coverage. Then you had the drop, and we'll see exactly what happened with the referees right now just talking it over. But, yeah, that looked to be a really good opportunity for Overbrook in getting past midfield and field position. But obviously it's all going to be for naught here.
Michael Milligan was going crazy out there and had to be restrained by 2 of his players. All right, here's the official with the call. 2 fouls. Block in the back, Overbrook.
All right, there was an illegal block in the back
Face
on the
mask,
play, and there was a
Sterling.
face mask on the kicking team.
All right, so they have both calls down, and I think Overbrook is very lucky that the junior Milligan wasn't tossed. If it wasn't for the heads-up play of a couple of his teammates, he really wanted to go after somebody from Sterling.
I think it was number 5, Potts. And
all right, we'll go back to the right side, is that both penalties are going to offset, so we're going to have to do this all over again. Just when you think Overbrook is going to get back, remember, they've had a 55-yard running touchdown called back, and then they had a big play there. That was called back. So we'll zoom out and get ready for this kickoff, as a real nice kick was last taken by Jess.
I was just going to say, that was just an outstanding kickoff by Dylan Jess to get it up so high and allow your coverage team to get down there.
Let's zoom it out some more so we get a good look at this kick. We'll keep zooming it out some more. This is one of the few times we'll have Andrew zoom out, because he is going to blast this ball into the field. And Jess doesn't look like your prototypical kicker, but he got that last one. And here we go. He gets another one, high and deep. Yard line as Grace was in there on the tackle. So 1st and 10 Overbrook from the 21.
And this is where
Griggs, both time that he's gotten the kick, is jumbled with the ball.
side of the ball with gaining penetration, something Sterling's been able to do sporadically but not consistently.
We zoom it out a little bit. David Land is on the left side of your screen. There he is. 1st and 10. This is Land. Land brought down from behind by Stephon Johnson after a gain of about 1.
You know, that's that penetration. You saw Johnson get to Lamb, kind of slice through there before he's been able to get going upfield. And that's something, like we had said, that's something Sterling needs to do on more of a consistent basis up front.
11 minutes, 15 seconds to go, 3rd period. The Knights lead at 14-0. They come into the game 2-5, Overbrook 1-6. Overbrook hanging around. Been very impressed with their running back, David Land. You see him number 2. Shotgun here for Bump. Bump rolling to his left. Gets the pass off low and incomplete. Intended for Montado. Pretty good coverage on the play by Jaden Johnson.
Yeah, and you had good, you know, we talk about penetration first in the running game. You had Stephon Johnson get in there and make the stop on Lamb. There you had real good upfield penetration by Gavin Clark, and that forced Bump into a bad throw. So, you know, we talked about them coming in defensively and dictating the tempo. I think they've done that on these first 2 plays.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 8 for Overbrook. They're taking a long time to get this play in. Or they may be looking at a delay of the game here soon. They're going to have to hustle to get this one in. As we zoom in out a little bit again, Land is the tailback. This is Land. Land finds a hole. Good job by one of the linebackers to step in there and make the tackle. That was Vales after a gain of about 7.
Started on the 28th.
4th down situation, and Overbrook's taking some chances, but I think this one they're just going to punt away.
So Overbrook into punt, and they've had 1 punt already blocked. As you can see, number 6 there, Kalan, is going to be your kicker.
Number 6, Jonas Cullen, back to punt.
Sterling sends 2 players back at their own 45. They're going to get pretty good field position. Good snap this time. Line drive, end over end kick. Going Brandon Grace's way. He picks it up by 1. Grace can't get by the next one. It'll be from the 45-yard line. Sterling will take over 1st and 10 behind their quarterback, Jeremiah Thompson. And Kevin, you're expecting a lot of running coming up.
I would think. I know, they tried to go to the passing game, getting it downfield, but I think, you've had some success running around the edge, and sporadic success off tackle. I think it's something that if you keep going to it, you can get the lineman into a rhythm and expose either the outside or the off-tackle plays in the running game.
From their own 46, 1st and 10, Sterling behind the temporary lights here at Overbrook. It's amazing how many times the ball's been there today. Pitch it to the near side. This is Williams. Williams tries to get the edge. He gains about 10, actually give him about 12 as he gets out to the 41-yard line and a 1st down.
Yeah, that's what I think they have to do, because you're seeing right there, which Sterling's doing a good job of, is cutting off the linebackers, going to the outside. Everybody was clogged. That's a quick pitch to the outside. Williams has got speed and then gets it upfield, wins the race, gets around the edge, and they get a 1st down. I really don't think, whether it's Williams to the outside or that play to Vales, that Overbrook's able to stop Sterling.
Go a little bit to your left here on 1st and 10 from the 42. This is Vales. Vales is brought down the play by Kalan. No gain. Good job by Kalan. He's been in the backfield a few times.
And they went off to that far side again, getting out there, but there was room. You just had a great individual effort right there. I still think, you don't want to go away from that play, but I think more often than not, you're going to get space to the outside, and it's a great way to allow your skilled players to take over.
2nd down and 10 for the Knights. Man in motion. delay. Vales to his left. Vales with some running room here. He's going to get a first down. Tackled at about the 30-yard line on the tackle there by Jacob Montaldo, enough for a first down.
And Tad, John, you know, we always say when you run that play the first time in a game, you're going to have success. Well, that was the second time we ran it, and I think you're more likely to have success against a young team because they get caught looking the wrong way, step the wrong way, and young teams are very susceptible to misdirection. I think that's why that play was so successful.
1st and 10 from the 30. This is Williams. Williams cuts the edge. Williams breaks one tackle. They're going for the ball, but gaining a couple extra yards as Williams. Give him about 8 on that.
Yeah, and again, I'm not looking for Sterling to stray away from the running game because that's their best chance to just methodically move downfield. And I think the big thing is you got a lot of guys playing both ways for Overbrook. This can really go a long way to wear down the defensive line.
8:15 and counting, 3rd quarter. Sterling with the 2nd down and 3. This is Vales. Vales around the edge by 2, and he's not going to get much more. He's lucky to get back the original line of scrimmage, as tackling on the play was Andrew Morgan. Sterling also fortunate they didn't get a block in the back there.
And you see Overbrook flying out of there. You know, they're really trying to get ahead and cheat to the outside. That's where you come back with maybe a trap or a counter to go the other way. Again, misdirection, throwing off a young defense.
They actually lose a couple. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. See if Sterling will pass on 3rd down. Up the middle. This is Richardson, and Richardson is going to be stopped at the original line of scrimmage as Overbrook holds their own ground again with Kalan on another tackle.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a draw right there possibly, and you thought you would catch Overbrook defensively off guard, but did a real nice job to stay at home and make the play on Richardson.
Well, this is where they look Esther Mara's way. They're looking at him right now. He lines up 1-on-1, bottom side of the screen. I got a feeling on this one. Thompson's back. He's looking that way, and this is picked off and dropped. It should have been picked up by Montaldo, as there was miscommunication, Kevin, on that play as Esther Mara was going long, and Thompson threw it like it was going to be a slant in the middle.
Yeah, they were, and that's rare for those two. Those two have played a lot, thrown a lot to each other, and not sure what happened. They were just not on the same page. No other way to put that one. It just was miscommunication right there.
I think Thompson will also tell you this has not been his best game.
No, it's been a tough one. And, I think Strong did what they had to do, and using the running game. But I'll agree with you, Tad. On that play, you had one-on-one coverage out there. In a 4th down situation, go to Estramera.
As we pan way to the left, Overbrook now with the ball. As we pan way left, 1st and 10 from the shotgun. 1st and 10. This is Land. Land finds a hole. He's got some speed. He's going to get a first down. The ball popped up after he went down. Tackled on the play by Williams after a gain of 15.
And another one based on, the momentum they were able to get from a defensive stop. This Overbrook team right now, again, has to feel as good about themselves at this point in the game as they hit going in half, only being down 14-0 on the heels of doing a lot of good things on the offensive side of the ball.
Overbrook with the 1st and 10 from their own 41, 6:30 and counting to play in the 3rd quarter. The freshman Eddie Bump at quarterback.
I feel like that's a name that we're going to hear a lot.
This is Land. Land pushing up the middle. He is thrown down. I do not want to run into Gavin Clark, and that's what he did there, a gain of maybe 2.
Looks like there'll be a yard on the play.
And to Sterling's credit, in this second half, they've been able to do a good job stopping that play. That's one play where Lamb really had a lot of success, probably getting maybe 8 yards of carry in that first half.
2nd down and 9 coming up for Overbrook. 5 minutes, 44 seconds and counting. We talked about throughout the game, they probably have the time of possession battle handily in this one. Going to be a 2nd down and 9. Pass play. and he gets it off as being hit on the play by Clark, and he was just able to get that off. It did have a man there. Now we
There is a
believe
flag on the field.
He had a receiver there. It's going to be holding, I believe, against Sterling. So this could be defensive holding as we'll pan up. There's your official with the white hat. I believe this is.
And that was downfield, too.
Yep.
I think that's against Shane L. or Estramera.
So that goes against Sterling. That's going to be a first down.
And the shame of that was with the pressure that you had, Bupp had no chance to even get the ball that far. You did a great job covering the flat. Sterling's adjusted and really shut down that play. And the only opening you had was downfield. Obviously, you have the penalty, but Bupp, with the pressure from Clark, in no way would be able to get the ball that far running backwards.
1st and 10 inside Sterling territory. 5:26 to play here in this third quarter. Shotgun with bump. Land connected the line of scrimmage, not able to go much further than that. And Schulz was in there on the stop, as was Stephon Johnson.
Well, and that's what happens when you have the penetration you had from Gavin Clark in there. You give guys like Schulz and Johnson time to come out there and make the play, because once you hit Lamb, you're forcing them laterally across, and it gives everybody time to come up and make a play.
2nd down and 10 upcoming for Overbrook. They are in Sterling territory, under 5 minutes to go here in the third period. We widen it out a little bit from the shotgun. Bupp rolling to his right. He has some decent protection. Gets it off. Almost picked off on the play. Shane L. read it all the way. The pass is intended for Griggs, and L almost got it.
Yeah, and really doing a good job. You know, Shane L. stepped up in an effort to maybe get the interception, but made sure if he didn't get the interception, he knocked it down. Sometimes when you reach and do that, you might get a tip ball, and the receiver will get it on a tip. But a great job of Shane L. stepping up and just knocking it down, but was a few inches away from stepping up and going the other way.
And mentioning tip balls, we definitely saw that during the Defford game, and which
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
ended up being a touchdown for
We had,
Defford.
yeah, 2 defenders run into each other, and you had about a 60-yard touchdown.
3rd down and 10 from Sterling's 46. Bupp gives it to Land. Land gets around the edge, being pursued, and what a tackle. Shane L. from his safety spot again. A gain of only 2 on a play that looked like could have gone for more.
And that's a great job individually by Shane L. because everybody got bunched up in the middle, and Lamb, who has a lot of speed, looked like he was going to get around the edge. But, boy, if there's a better safety in this conference in coming up and stopping the run than Shane L., I haven't seen him.
Punt team is on, so Kalan will kick. They had a punt blocked earlier in the game. You see him on the left side of your screen. See if Sterling elects to come after him. They send 2 of their deep backs at their own 15-yard line. Low snap, trouble, and in there to take it right away. Great hustling effort. We mentioned his name on the play before. Shane L. picks it up. Sterling going to get the ball inside Overbrook territory.
Honestly, name me a game where we have not mentioned his name.
Is there 2 36s on the field? He's everywhere.
It's a shame. We missed him for the one game with a concussion. And what was that, the Deptford game?
Yeah, it would have been a difference.
And I think if he plays, Sterling finds a way to get through. He's just such a dynamic player. 1st and 10 Knights from the 45-yard line.
Shane L. all the way in the receiving slot.
Back to pass is Thompson. He's going deep for it all. Has a man there. It's caught. And L trips himself up. Tackled by the 10 or 9-yard line. He's down at the 5. He knew he was going to score a touchdown. Now, I don't know if he's hurt.
He's not hurt, boy.
He is very much shaken up on this, as his teammate out there, Williams, is with him. I'm assuming that's something to do with the trip. For our taped audience, we'll take a quick break as Shane L. goes down. But I'll tell you what, guys, what a play right there. Shane L., I mean, if he's not an all-conference safety, Kevin, I don't know who is.
Oh, he's as good as, like I said, anybody we've seen. Even on some of the top teams we've seen, we have not seen anybody as dynamic as him. And the thing the thing that impresses me about him is when he comes in on a tackle, sometimes you see guys lean on a tackle and they're susceptible to somebody shifting one way or another. Does such a great job of being bounced, always keeps his legs underneath him.
If you can switch back here. Unfortunately, you didn't see it at home. Shane looked at the goal line and just patted himself on the head like, oh, my God, I can't believe I didn't score. As we'll come back with the taped audience now, we'll go back to the play. So after Shane L's big play, it's 1st and goal for the Knights on a delay. This is Richardson, and Richardson goes in for the touchdown from about 4 yards out, and Sterling increases their lead on the run by Richardson.
Well, just a simple play off to the right side, and Richardson, with the big body that he has, is able to get in easily.
And, John, it's a case where Overbrook finally broke.
Yeah. Again, Schulz wanted to see more running, and Sterling's definitely done that, and it's paid off.
It's now 20-0 Sterling as they get set for this extra point kick. As we widen it out, we'll show you the goalpost here. Through the temporary lights, as in to kick will be Dylan Jess. Grace will hold the snap from Schulz. Kick is long enough. And the kick is good. So 3:21 to go here in the third quarter. It's been all night so far. They lead it 21-0. And for our YouTube audience, again, we join you live in the press box. Glad you're with us no matter where you're watching across America. Tad Kazaneski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallworth, and we'll let John talk a little bit here. Sterling finally able to break through.
Yeah, and again, Schulz mentioned it. The run game was definitely effective. And past those foul plays, I felt like it was the Shane L show also. Great defensively and very unlucky not to score that touchdown. And he seemed all right to get up after he got that short injury. So hopefully we'll see more of him soon.
Yeah, Shane has been a factor, but again, the Knights stepped up when they needed to.
No question about it. I mean, you had to stop on 3rd down with Shane L coming up and making a play, and then they hit Shane L on a go route, getting down about the 5-yard line. So you haven't seen Sterling getting a real good, consistent rhythm, but they've been able to come up with the big play that's resulted in the scores tonight.
We'll bring back our taped audience, and we'll zoom it out for the kick. Sterling in to kick off, leading it now 21-0. But Overbrook's been hanging around this game for sure. Line drive kick picked up at about the 28-yard line. And running with this was Montaldo, and he is taken down. Again, Sterling with some hard hitting tonight. Initially in there on the stop was Albert Davis. And Overbrook will take over 1st and 10. Reminder that next week here on Sterling TV 19, we will be live not only on YouTube next week, we'll be live on Sterling TV 19, our last regular season home game, as we will host Collingswood. So Collingswood, in what should be a very interesting game next week. Collingswood comes in. They are actually 4-3 coming into tonight, but their schedule not as strong as Sterling's.
And you have to, when you look at comparable scores, I know Collingswood lost to Deptford in pretty much the same way Sterling did. So, you know, it's one of those matchups that could go either way, no question about it.
1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 29-yard line. Up in shotgun formation. Just to his left, you see him there is David Land. This is Land. Land right up the middle in no man's land. In there on the stop that time was Jacob Paris, a sophomore.
And guys, we said that the big thing the defense had to do in this second half was impose their will, and really have done a good job. I mean, other than the penalty downfield that led to the 1st down by Overbrook, have done a much better job defending this Overbrook offense than they had in the 1st half.
2:45 and counting, 3rd period. Knights lead at 21-0 under the temporary lights here from Overbrook High School. Beautiful surface. The grass is in immaculate shape.
I was about to ask if it was turf.
Yeah, it looks that pretty, but it is natural grass. Back to pass. Get the pass off. This is caught. Good defensive play there. And thrown out of bounds by Esther Mary. He saw that all the way. It's going to be a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And we talked about that being the play where Overbrook had a lot of success, especially in that first quarter. But Sterling's really done a great job of kind of balancing things out, stepping up and making that play, but also covering the deep routes. And you saw Mike Estremera, who we've talked a lot about and what he's been able to do on the offensive side of the ball, has really had an outstanding year as a defender out on the corner.
3rd down and 5 coming up for Overbrook. 2 wideouts to the long side of the field. Up is ready. Hand off to Land. You're not getting by Clark. Clark got the first hand on him, and a couple other Knights were in there on the stop. Looked like also Jacob Johnson in there. It's going to leave him 4th and about 4, and here comes the punt team.
Yeah, and this is a lot of what we saw happen in the Deptford game 2 weeks ago, where Strong was giving up a lot of yards off tackle up the middle. They put Clark in the middle, kind of clogs things up and allows the linebackers to make plays, also forces backs to go out laterally, and it just gives everybody more time to come up and defend.
Kalan in to kick. He's going to kick from at his own 25-yard line. Good snap this time. Able to get the kick off. It's a line drive. Grace takes it at the 42. Going to the far side of the field. Grace has some running room, and then finally taken out of bounds and tackled by the kicker, Kalan. And there is a flag on the field.
Wow.
And here comes our official. And most times that would be on somewhat of an illegal block on a return.
And that's way down, that's way away from the play.
Now this could be against, looks like, I thought I saw illegal substitution as this sign was given there.
Tackle out of bounds, I think.
Here we go. Personal foul, Sterling.
Personal foul.
So Sterling with the personal foul.
On the receiving team.
Boy, Kevin, they've been penalized quite a bit. You would think a team with a lot of freshmen would be piling up the penalties, and Overbrook really has not been overly penalized in this game.
And some of the penalties have been where, again, the frustrating thing is when plays are already downfield, you're at the end of a play, you get a penalty that is just completely unnecessary. And we said penalties like that just drive coaches crazy.
Again, we're behind the temporary lights as we wind this one down. Final 42 seconds of the 3rd period. Up the middle, the big man to the left side of your screen, Richardson. Richardson maybe gets a yard as he gets out to the 50-yard line. Johnson, I should say, got that and gets thrown back. It's really strange angle. You can see from that with those lights right in the middle of your screen. Sterling doesn't have to run a play here if they don't want to. 15 seconds and counting in this 3rd quarter.
Probably will.
Well, they decide to run one. 2nd and 9. Reverse. This is Vales. Vales going to be about 2 or 3 shy of the first down as he goes down at the 45, and that is going to do it for action in the 3rd quarter. So we played 3 here from Pine Hill. Sterling leads at 21-0. You're watching high school football on Sterling High School TV 19.
And that play will complete the 3rd quarter.
And we come back into the press box here. Tad Kosneski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood. And again, John, I think it's a case where Overbrook's been able to hang in this game, but just not quite get what they needed to do.
Really has been, and Sterling's been able to really control Overbrook offensively right now and defensively. And we're starting to see how we thought they should be playing right now in the second half of the game, but not in the first half of the game. So definitely some words have been said during the halftime.
And Kevin, I think it's a case where Sterling's got to clean up their act.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I feel good about what they've done on the defensive side of the ball in the second half, but on the offensive side of the ball, you know, they get, you think they're getting into a rhythm, then they get stopped, and really, guys, their scores have been set up by big plays going downfield.
Fortunately, we'll get you our live. There we go. We get our live. There we go. Let's bring back our taped audience right now. And we welcome everybody back under the temporary lights from Overbrook High School. 3rd down and 3 for Sterling. A delay. Good push up the middle. Look out here. Here comes Richardson. Richardson across the 20, down at the 18. A 1st down and a gain of about 30 yards.
And 3rd down, needing about 4. You had to feel like, especially after they stopped Richardson early on in this set of downs, that they might be going to the outside. And I think Overbrook was looking at that and left the hole off tackle there, and Richardson really made him pay for it.
Richardson, just a sophomore.
Richardson really steamrolled over that Overbrook defense.
Inside the 20, 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Richardson on the play, 1st and 10.
Give it to him again. Why not? Pushing. Give him about 4 as he gets out to almost the 15-yard line. Tackled on the play by Ulatowski and Cullen.
And that's the type of play you really thought, you could establish in this game on a consistent basis, based on the fact that you've got Overbrook, a young team coming up here, young up front, and you felt like you'd be able to consistently impose your will on them. You've been able to do it at times, but again, really not on a consistent basis.
2nd down and 6 for Sterling. Man in motion is Williams. Williams runs right over a man, literally drags another one in land. Gain of about 5, leave him 1.5 yards shy of the 1st down.
Well, there's been a lot of plays to the outside where you've seen Williams win the battle, getting to the edge, but that was, and the line does a good job blocking for him, but boy, that was just great individual effort by Williams. He was actually pushed back by the upfield penetration to the outside, and then was able to stay on his feet, spin, and get 5 yards, really by great individual effort.
3rd down and a long 2, almost 3. Pitch it to the near side. Here's Vales. Vales tries to get the edge. Nice open field tackle by Trey Taylor, and it looks like it will be enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, you just get the ball to Vales in space, and you feel like you've got a chance with his speed to get out there, either L.J. Williams to the left side, Vales to the right side. But that was just a great individual effort by Taylor coming up and making a play. We talked a lot about Shane L, what he's been able to do, and that's a nice job by Taylor coming up from the safety position for Overbrook.
1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Under 10 minutes to go here now in the game. I think you got to give it to Richardson here. Fake it on the delay. Here comes Potts, and Potts goes in untouched. So Sterling increases the lead to 27-0 on the touchdown by Trayvon Potts.
Well, there's that play we've seen run to DeJohn Vales, probably on 3 separate occasions. They've always had success with it. Go with Potts. And, boy, guys, we had a great view right here of that hole that opened up. Overbrook just really has trouble with any type of misdirection or anything that looks one way and is going to go the other way.
Lining up for the extra point. Dylan Jess. Grace the hold, Schulz the snap.
And the extra point
Nice high kick.
And good.
It is good. 9:46 to play in this one. Sterling now leads this one by a score of 28-0. We'll step aside and be back with more here on Sterling High School TV 19.
We need everybody to once again check their blue
Back here in the booth, and
Everybody has
I think it's a chance now we can start looking ahead to Collingswood in a game that should be a pretty tough game.
Yeah, and I mean, Sterling hasn't had a great effort here, but give them credit for just battling through and doing what they have to do and putting themselves, like you said, Tad, in position to go against a very good Collingswood team with a game that really is going to mean a lot and will determine playoff seedings, and you want to also really bounce back off of, it's a 28-0 win, but they'll even tell you a game that was very sloppy. You want to bounce back off of that, especially as you look forward towards the playoffs.
Let John get your thoughts in a second here as we'll go back to the live action. We'll bring back our taped audience. Under the temporary lights here, Pine Hill, New Jersey, Overbrook High School. Sterling leading at 28-0. Dylan Jess into kickoff.
See if we can boom this one again.
Had some really nice kickoffs tonight. Here we go. He gets another one. Very deep. And this will be a touchback. And John, we get ready for next week, a chance for the Knights to play a home game.
Definitely, and it's been a long time since we've been able to play at our home field. And hopefully, for our last home game, we should honestly hopefully get a win here and end the regular season with a very good note.
Coming into tonight, Collingswood has a record of 4-3. You kind of look at some of the numbers coming in. They have scored 156 points to Sterling's 101. They've given up only 116 to Sterling's 194. So it'll definitely be a more evenly matched game next week. That'll be home and live on Channel 19 and YouTube. 1st and 10 for Overbrook. Land sees white shirts in front of him, gets by one. He's not going to get by the 3 other white shirts as he's finally taken down by Brandon Grace.
Make no mistake about it, guys. Of course, they've scored a couple of touchdowns in the second half, but the difference has been on the defensive side of the ball because they forced Overbrook to punt. And we talked about the big thing in the first 2 quarters was the time of possession Overbrook had, and that's something they really haven't been able to do in the second half, and give kudos to the defense.
2nd down and 10. There's a pass play. Pass is off and trying to get it for Griggs, but incomplete.
And that play's been stopped again, not only by the coverage, but the pressure. And, you know, when you force a quarterback to not go to his right and just go back, you're just not able to get enough on that pass. And that's even a short pass. But going back with pressure, it's really effective to throw it up.
9:04 remaining in this one. Sterling trying to hold on to a shutout in this game today. 3rd down and 10. We'll see if Buck wants to throw it again. He does. Gets the pass off, and it's dropped, and he would have been clobbered. So actually a good thing that Montado dropped that because Grace would have tattooed him.
It looked like he just batted it down, knowing like he was going to get hit.
I wouldn't blame him for that.
Oh, no, I wouldn't either. And
here comes the punt team.
yes, and we've seen many 2-block punts tonight by Shane L. Both of them, actually.
Yeah, he
by
blocked
Shane L.
one and took the low snap and just jumped on the ball. Sterling's back at the 45 of Overbrook. Here comes Kalan. He's going to punt about his own 10-yard line. Gets this one off a high kick. Grace calls fair catch, and he squeezes it at the 45-yard line of Overbrook. We have 8:55 to play here in this game. Sterling leading at 28-0 as they'll bring their offense back on. And Kevin, I like the fact you called it at halftime, going to more of a running attack that's kind of settled the game down.
Yeah, and you're mixing things up, whether it's off tackle. The big play, we saw Potts go with the misdirection and get in the end zone. They've had a lot of success with that. They're using a lot of different weapons, but keeping the ball on the ground for the most part, and I think that's gone a long way in wearing down this Overbrook defense, especially in that last drive.
1st and 10 from the 45 of Overbrook. Pushing ahead and going nowhere was Jacob Johnson as he stopped on the play by Kalan, who's had a really good evening here. Also Bryce Powell, a freshman.
Man, this is a, one of those things where it's frustrating this year for Overbrook, but they're a team that's going to take their lumps as young players. But boy, I'll tell you what, look out for them in the next few years.
Yeah, their quarterback in Bupp, a freshman starting today. He's had pretty good numbers this season as well. 2nd down and 11 as Sterling loses a yard on that one. They hand this off to Williams. And Williams stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He is literally thrown back. Adam Seeger in there, as is Caden Simpson.
I think they're going to throw this to Estremera right now.
They could. A lot of times you might just want to run this one out. Estremera will line up. Last time you called it, though, John. We'll see. Estremera lines up. He is on the far side of the field. It's going to be 3rd down and 11. Pan a little to the right on 3rd and 11. Thompson does want to throw. Scrambles by one. He's looking that way. It's a jump ball, and it is caught on the. Now, is he out of bounds? They say incomplete. He caught the ball but was out of bounds. So incomplete, and Coach over here, Coach Mike, called that one again.
Wow. And I thought for sure there was pass interference. Boy, there was a lot of contact on that going downfield, and I'm sure the coaches right there had a little bit to say about that. But obviously, you don't want to get penalized, but you're definitely going to let the officials know you weren't too happy about that.
Sterling into punt.
I'd be surprised if they try to fake it.
At this point, 4th and long, we'll see. Most likely, we'll see they'll probably send it deep.
If it was 4th and 4, 4th and 5, John, a little bit more downfield, I think maybe that might be a possibility.
Thompson into kick, high snap. They're coming. He gets it off. It's a short kick. It's going to go inside the 20 and stop at the 18. We'll take a quick break for our taped audience. 7:25 to go in the game. Sterling leading at 28-0. And again, for our YouTube audience watching here live tonight on YouTube, we want to remind you we will be live with girls soccer on Monday. I believe it's a 3 o'clock game. I apologize, either 2 or 3. That will be at Cedar Creek. And then Tuesday, we'll be at Barnegat for the boys soccer game. They play that game on a football field, so we'll see how that one goes as both our soccer teams enter play. If you're just tuning in, the field hockey team won their 2nd playoff game of the year, 2-0 at Pinelands, and they will advance on to play next week as well. 1st and 10 inside the 20 for Overbrook. Here's Land. Land, maybe a yard or 2, is on top of him is Stephon Johnson. And the running game, I think, Kevin, of Overbrook has slowed down a bit with so many young players playing both ways.
Yeah, you could just, you talk about body language after that last stop when they were deep in their own end and they were forced to punt. You could just tell it was a very frustrated team that, again, throughout this game has felt good about a lot of things that they've done, but I agree with you, Tad. They're just worn down by what Sterling's been able to do up front in the 2nd half.
Give him a yard, 2nd down and 9. Land finds a little bit of a hole. Nice open field tackle there as he's thrown down the play by Brandon Grace, who's had a really good night. And just happened to come to mind here that this probably will be the last time Sterling is going to play Overbrook, as Overbrook is leaving the Colonial Conference. They are going to go in the Tri-County Conference. And the word that I am getting is the team that we are adding in is Gloucester City High School. Most likely is coming in. And I happened to be coaching there the last time this all went through, and we were pushing hard to get into the Colonial. Overbrook ended up coming in. They will bow out, and Gloucester High, I think, who's a great fit for the conference, is going to come in.
Yep.
3rd down and 6 for Overbrook. Land trying to find some room in there. Now he's coming outside the pack and down the sidelines. Now it's a foot race to see if he can get there. Good angle by Estremera. And now you're going to get a late flag as for some reason Shane L. threw him out of bounds. I can understand by that young man of the Rams is upset. That was not a play you want to see, as he was well out of bounds when Shane L. threw him down.
Another flag. That's going to be on the ref. I mean, not on the ref.
Oh, the ref.
Coach.
Now we'll go. Let's go up a little bit. You see the referee with the white hat.
That might be on the coach. Coach was.
Kevin, I hate to say that if they wanted to, this is my opinion. If they, now you see, there's the coach they're yelling, but they could throw L out of the game if they wanted to. So we'll stay with the coach in the hat. Stay with the coach and the way that the official
Clearly out of
there.
bounds.
I didn't think he stepped out of bounds. Lance. I didn't see him step out of bounds really.
Well, apparently he did, and that's why you got a couple of flags. Now the officials, again, are going to look at this, and I think Shane L's got to be careful here because the last thing you'll want is L not able to play next week against Collingswood.
Honestly, right now, if you're
What do you think, Kevin? I don't think they are going to throw him out, but they could.
I don't think so. I think they'll just go with the penalty. I'm trying to figure out what the coach could have been arguing about. They got the call on this near side.
Yeah, I mean, what else can a referee do?
Right. And, and if you get a penalty, you're kind of hurting your own team.
Let's follow the official here. He's coming down. Personal foul. Sideline. Now that's what that sideline infraction was for. I assume that's a warning. John, you had a better look. You were the one that jumped with the coach. What did you see with the coach right away?
honestly, I think he was mouthing off honestly, and he didn't.
Unnecessary roughness.
And really, the ref didn't like what he was saying, so he just threw the flag.
And I think the Sterling coaches, I believe, have gotten Shane L off the field.
Yeah,
Definitely need to calm them down a little bit.
Yeah, with especially now 28-0, there's no need to even put him out there at this point. That'll be taken care of during the week, I'm sure. 1st and 10, deepest penetration inside the 20. This is Bowers.
And guys, you say to yourself, how could that play have happened where Sterling's been stopping them defensively? Well, Sterling's been doing that because they basically, you have somebody covering the wide out, you have a safety back. They've been having 9 men in the box, and if it gets bunched up in the box, you're able to make the stop. But if you're able as a back to get to the outside, that's where you're susceptible on that type of play that was able to go downfield for about 40 yards and obviously had another 15 yards tacked on because of the penalty.
Yeah, initially we lost sight of him too, and then all of a sudden he just popped out.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like Carson Wentz popping out, and there he goes.
Really didn't see Lance getting stepped out of bounds, so.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 7 for Overbrook. This is trouble. The freshman Bowers, he has nowhere to go on that as Rashawn Queen comes in there on the stop. So just when you think Overbrook again has a shot to maybe get something on the board, and they come up with a play like that. But again, to their credit, they have not been penalized, if at all, tonight.
No.
And probably the biggest one right now was that sideline approachment.
Yep. 3rd down and 11 as we have 4:20 and counting to play in this game. It's been all Sterling thus far. Shotgun for Bump. He's rolling right. Gets the pass off. It is caught and looks like going to be close to a 1st down. That's a real nice catch on the play by Khalil Griggs.
Nice catch and a nice throw, and that's probably the first time since the first half that when they ran that play, Buck has had some room to go to the outside and not had somebody in his face. And he's able to unload and get a big 1st down here for Overbrook. And, as they obviously, you're winding things down, you're in a situation you're going to lose the game, but he made a play.
1st and goal from the 8. Rupp in the shotgun. Bowers. Check that. That's Land. Land met at the line. Still pushes ahead. May have gotten to the 5. A couple decent running backs in Land, who's run for over 600 yards, and Bauer for over 100. Land is a junior, and Bowers is a freshman. Again, your quarterback, Bupp, is a freshman.
Yeah, Landon Bowers, they're kids who run hard. And, again, you're looking at a 28-0 loss, but for young kids, they're really doing the job.
And again, the discipline has been there. That's the other thing. They've had some opportunities to kind of get wound up. That personal foul against Sterling was one of them, but discipline to hang in there. 2nd and goal from the 5. Pass play, rolling to his left is Rupp. And nice open field tackle. Very well done. That was, I believe, Bell on the tackle for Sterling.
Yeah,
That was Johnson. I apologize there. So Johnson came in, made a nice tackle.
Guys, that's the difference. Again, I know we talked a lot about this last week. You see Bob, maybe if he's going to the right side, would have been able to get something off. But you could tell the way he was running, there's no way he would have any chance to turn his body. And just a great job of Jacob Johnson coming from the linebacker position, chasing him down.
3rd down and goal. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this game. There's a different formation here. They send a couple wideouts to the far side. Shotgun formation. Bupp rolls to his right. He's got some time. Now he doesn't. Gets it off. In and out of the hands was one of his wide receivers and incomplete. As he tried to get it Olatowski, so he gets it to Olatowski, incomplete. And as you guys mentioned, a flag is down. Will go to the right side official. Could be roughing the quarterback again as we pan. There's our official.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, off the top of my head, Kevin, that's at least the 4th, if not 5th, 15-yard penalty today against Sterling. There it is, roughing the passer.
And the penalty is roughing the passer.
And that's something, Sterling's lucky tonight that they're playing a lesser opponent. That's something that's got to stop.
You next week, yeah, you definitely have to play better. No question about it. You have to eliminate the penalties, and you got to get back Monday and have a real good week of practice and get past some of the mistakes.
1st and goal from the 3. Here is Land. Land close to the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown. So David Land gets on the board. For Land, that's his 3rd touchdown of the season. As we mentioned now, Overbrook is now on the scoreboard.
Wouldn't be surprised if they go for 2.
Why not at this point? You're down 28-6. Yeah, they are going to go for 2 as they're looking this one over. 1:42 on the clock here as they will go for 2.
I think when Sterling grabs it, they'll probably just kneel it.
Still have 3 timeouts remaining. Shotgun is Bupp. He's got Land behind him. Give it to Land. Land right side, and still pushing. Nope, it is not good. So the 2-point conversion is not good. 1:42 remaining in this game. 28-6. Overbrook is now on the board.
And that'll make the score 28-6. 1:42 left in the game.
And we welcome you back into the booth. Tad Kosniewski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood, and John, again, even though we're Sterling fans, I mean, it's nice, I think, that Overbrook was able to get some points on the board.
Oh, definitely. And probably their last time ever playing against Sterling. So it's always nice to get some last points against your rivals at the time being. So, again, it's definitely been a very hard day for Overbrook. And just unlucky not to get more points than what they should have been seeing. Because, again, this is mainly a freshman team, and they're well-disciplined. They're definitely a great football team, could be a great football team later on.
And, Kevin, we just leaned into it before we went to the break. Sterling is going to win the game, but they got a lot of work to do this week.
They really do. And you felt like they patched things up and really turned things around on the defensive side of the ball. And then all of a sudden you get the big run, you get the penalty, you get a roughing the passer penalty, you get a completion off to the right side. So, again, it's a game where they just haven't been able to consistently put things together.
And we'll widen it out and bring you back in here for our taped audience.
So they probably will be going for the onside kick.
We'll see what happens here. 1:42 remaining in this game, 28-6. Now they'll kick it if it is an onside, and that was Sterling is playing for. The ball has to go 10 yards. So we'll look for a possibility of an onside short kick here. And here we go. Pooch punt goes over everybody. It's going to stay in bounds. And it's jumped on by Thompson and Williams. So Sterling will hold the ball, take it 1st and 10 at around the 20-yard line. Overbrook does have 3 timeouts remaining if they choose to take them. Overbrook, a team that's a few years away with the amount of freshmen that they are playing in this lineup tonight. Sterling will have their next game will be Friday night at home against Collingswood. We'll have that live on cable TV, channel 19 for our cable TV viewers in our home area. It'll also be live on YouTube next week, Friday, 7 o'clock, Collingswood. From the 20, 1st and 10. This is Potts. Potts lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like Overbrook doesn't want to take their timeouts.
Tad, you mentioned it. You just got to go back to the drawing board if you're Sterling, patch things up, and you can't have these mistakes that you had tonight against a good team. And I think first and foremost, you've really got to have a good week of practice coming up, and what at this point is going to be the biggest game of the year.
2nd down and 10 for the Knights. 1:05 and counting remaining in this game. Just waiting for the play clock to start. So Sterling will run the play. Nearing mid and thrown down across midfield by Jacob Montalto after a gain of about 25 yards. A nice run there. You might get your first foul of the game on a penalty against Overbrook. As down on the floor, on the ground, still is Potts as he got thrown down very hard. You see him on the right side of your screen. Most likely it's going to be 15 yards, though, against Overbrook on the tackle. As Potts is now up, he walks up, trainer Klink with him. Here's your call, personal foul, face mask. Wow,
Ooh.
If that was a face mask, that was a real tough one there.
That, yeah.
So 15 yards on that one. 41 seconds to play as we go through what it looks like the UFOs, but that's the temporary lights. And they'll wind the clock.
You guys talk about a young guy who's come in and done a nice job. As Trey Potts had the 1 touchdown. And you look back to, I believe it was the Haddon Heights game. Really took over in that second half, running the ball. I know in the Triton game, he really did a nice job. So this is a kid we're going to see a lot of over the next couple of years.
Probably your last play of the game. This is Richardson. Richardson's still pushing ahead, and Richardson's going to get near the 1st down marker, and that will give them a 1st down, and they are not going to have to run another play, as that is going to do it. Sterling is going to win it by a score of 28-6. So Sterling now will increase their record to 3-5. They will play Collingswood next week. We'll have that game live on YouTube and Sterling TV 19. For John Hallwood and Kevin Schulz, I'm Tad Kozaneski. We'll talk to you next week at home. Homecoming from Collingswood here on Sterling TV 19.